Got the skier in the water, Kim Hallborn of Canada, going to be our first senior lady out for the slalom event. Kim hasn't skied in a few years. The 2015 Canadian Open put up 6.5 and 6.5, and then in the Canadian Barefoot Championships that same year, a 7.5 in wake slalom. Been at it for quite a few years. Came into the sport in 1995 as a 27-year-old women's one skier and skied the Ontario Championships in her first year of competition, and kind of stuck with it for good part, basically skied pretty much throughout her career. There was a little bit of a break, took about a 4-year hiatus between 2002 and 2006. Kim skied the 2000 World Barefoot Championships in Fergus Falls. I remember seeing her there for that competition. Came back and skied the 2002 World Championships and the 2006 Senior World Championships. So no stranger to the big stage. And we've got Kim Hallborn in the water, rope getting tight, pass number 2. Senior ladies, wake slalom. Okay, here we go. Kim Hallborn coming up, electing. Oh, lost the handle, coming up backwards. Towboat shutting down. Let's see what the judges are saying here about the pull. The senior men's jump scores are now posted over at the bulletin board by the judges' tower. Senior men's jump scores, if you want to see what the final scores are and who's going to make it to the finals, head on over and check that out. So it looks like the judges are not going to give Kim a rewrite on that. So the way this works for the decision on the rewrite, we've got 3 judges in the boat, and Kim will call how she wants to get pulled up to speed. So she'll call 3 stages of the pull. It might be something like a slow, medium, fast, or a medium, medium, fast. But essentially every stage, the judges in the boat are talking about if she was getting the pull she requested. And if 2 out of the 3 judges say they don't feel that it was the pull she was getting, then they would issue a rewrite and she would get to retry that start and repeat the run. But in this case, apparently the judges felt like Kim was given the pull that she asked for, no rewrite issued. So she will not get credit for the first pass. She will come back on pass number 2 and hope for the best.
All right.
Got a special guest here with me. I've got Ben Groen of New Zealand, Team New Zealand, who I got to say I spent some time in the announcing booth with Ben at the last World Championships in Wisconsin. Had a blast. All of those who know Ben, pretty darn fun guy to hang out with, so kind of lucky. I always look forward to the time I get to spend with you, Ben, and I watched the U.S. Nationals online. You announced that. Great job. I love your commentary and the charisma you bring to the game. So thanks for joining me here.
Oh, no, thank you, Rod. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful place, beautiful sight. Good to see you here up on the mic. And, I mean, what a day Canada's put on for us now. This is just beautiful.
Yeah, this is nice. So you travel around a lot, Ben. You go all over the world with the clinics, World Barefoot Center. Have you spent much time up here in Canada doing clinics over the years?
Yeah, the last couple of years, actually. I've been in Canada up towards more of the Toronto area, just a little outside the city there, doing some skiing with a guy called Steve Keating. Little private or public lake, out there in Bellwood. And actually, the weather's always been pretty decent. We've had a lot of fun, usually just 3-4 days at a time. But this is my first time getting up here to Dream Lake, and it's a pretty special place.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous here. I mean, anytime I come here and see anytime I go anyplace and see man-made lakes and the effort and the planning and just all the things that go into it, and I'll try to get Dwight over here and talk to us about how all of this evolved and all the work and thought behind it. It's always interesting to me to hear how Dream Lake, how you make these dreams come true. There's a lot of people in the world that talk about things, and for whatever reason, it's just hard to fulfill a dream, especially something of this magnitude. So
big scale.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But one of the things I've always wondered, Canada's such a huge country, and Ontario. Here we go. Okay, we got a stand-up run there on pass number 2 for Kim Hallborn, Canada. We're waiting for the live video feed to come up. When it does, we got the ship to shore. So there's a camera in the boat that's sending the video feed to a monitor here, and we get that going. Ben and I can kind of tell you what's going on with the skiers, what we're seeing, what we think they're scoring. We'll get scores in from the boat that we'll share with you. They'll be provisional. We'll have the finals scores when their judges are telling us their final and posted. We'll let you know where that is so you can track the progress throughout the tournament here. But we'll move on to the next skier in the group is going to be Katina Davis of Australia. So, Ben, you've probably had some exposure to Katina skiing the tournaments down there over the years.
Yeah, I actually spent some time with Katina after the last Worlds in Wisconsin. Did some traveling around with some of the Aussies there. I tagged along and just to get a little bit of Kiwi presence in the midst. And we did the Tommy Bartlett show and checked that out. We went and skied footstock together. Ash Stebbings, myself, Katina, and Cam Smith. So it was a fun week. Good folks here in Cam both. We had a lot of fun. And it's cool to see her back here again.
Yeah, that sounds crazy fun. So what's with New Zealand and Australia down there? Is there much for figure eights barefooting down there? Did you see much?
You get a little bit here and there. Nothing on the level of what footstock is. But you're starting to see more of them pop up as well. I know Australia, and New South Wales, a couple other areas, they have some really good figure eights. New Zealand, we've done a couple. But once again, it's not something you see too often. It's definitely a lot more prevalent here in North America, especially the States, obviously.
Okay, we've got Katina Davis coming up here. What are we going to see here, Ben? What are you expecting to see? You've probably seen Katina ski a fair amount. What are you expecting here?
Yeah, so most of my experience watching Katina ski has been in figure eights after footstock. But I think she'll be coming in forwards there. She's going to be doing probably some 1 foot crossings and her front pass, and she'll definitely be coming in backwards to do some back wakes on her second run as well. I saw her at her training the other day, and she looked pretty stable out there. So we'll see what we have now. We're still just working on that live feed. It looks like she's moving pretty good down the lake there, though, Rod. I can't quite see if she's on 2 or 1, but she's definitely got some movement going. And there's definitely some big scores getting seeded into the senior women's event here as well. It's not an easy event to post up and move forward. You got some really big names in the event. Rachel Norman coming back out of retirement here.
Yeah, so speaking of retirement and Katina Davis, it looks like, Ben, so back in 2006, 2007, Katina skied the Australian Barefoot Championships, in her late 30s. Looks like she took about a 10-year break and then came back in 2016 and got the career rejuvenated. So skied, 2017, the April tournament that they have down there. That's in Australia, I assume. And 5.2, having skied 10 years earlier, a personal best of 6.9. She's really not too far off of what she's been able to do over the years. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I'd fashion a guess to say she's probably right in that 5 to 7 range. Everything's sitting down on a good day for her today as well.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it looks like a stand-up pass. Anytime you have the handle at the end of the lake, that's a good thing, right? So
Yeah.
You can go back to back holding the handle here. That's a pretty good day.
Yep, that's right. Those jet skis look good, but you really don't want to be sitting on the back of one.
Yeah, maybe if you're holding a beer and working on a suntan, but not under these circumstances, right?
No, anything you can do to avoid the jet ski is a good day. I've taken the ride far too many times myself.
So I really appreciate the way the Aussie men or the Kiwi men got the party rolling last night, throwing out that challenge. I mean, let's not wait till the last night. I mean, you guys are competitors, fair competitors. It's like, let's not wait for the last night for you guys to see what you're up against. You got a week now. Hey, different countries, you got a week to get your skits and stuff together. There's no excuses now, right?
We're expecting a bit of a retaliation from the Aussies here, so we'll see what they can come up with. I saw Connor Rogers with some face paint on last night, and he was in his undies dancing around, so they could be having something in the books.
Could be another Alouette kind of a night on Saturday, you think?
I think that's definitely going to be on the cards. But here comes Katina. 2 foot back slalom, skiing all the way back down. Australia, let us hear it for your Aussie
nice
girl.
Job. Yeah, I really like the posture there. You know, Katina doing a nice job keeping the head up. I liked how she, you see the leverage there. She had that pull coming through the hips, up through the shoulders, and just real solid form getting down the lake.
A whole lot of extra body movement there. Just real nice and tight and look real steady.
Yep. Good transition in and out both directions. Solid run there for Katina Davis of Australia with 2 stand-up passes. Nice job.
Next on the water, if you don't know her, you've definitely heard her already on site.
Yeah, heard of the legend or the vocals?
Yeah, the vocals. And I don't know who came up with the idea. Someone gave her an amplifier.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really necessary or a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know if her husband's really grateful for that.
But anyway, I'll tell you what, I can't say enough about the next skier, Betsy Gilman, who I've known personally for, 25 years in the sport. I remember back in the 1990s showing up to ski a clinic with John Kretschmann, former U.S. team elite team member, and Betsy was there. First time I had met her, and just crazy enthusiasm. I mean, next thing you know, we were both in the boat with John, getting our jump proficiencies done, and I was in the boat with her when she made her first tournament jump ever. Now she's running around with the Vikings jump helmet and stuff. But, I mean, decades later, here this girl, she is the ambassador of the sport, and how much effort and time and enthusiasm she puts into it is just unparalleled. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, her passion is definitely something that's not unchecked. The amount of time she puts into the American Barefoot Club and, you know, the skiing on a global level. You go by a trailer, she's got just about every country's flag hanging up there as well. And I believe she's coming into the event with a bronze medal from 2016, so she's here to defend a bit of a title as well.
Yeah, Betsy did make it to the medal podium. I think it was jump at the last World Championship, so we'll see her jump. Up and skiing. Very solid skier. I know she loves to be on the water, loves to be out on the lake.
The good news about Betsy is if she does have a good run, we'll hear about it down this end as she gets to the other end there. You don't have to focus too hard to hear that squeal come running down the lake. And we've still got 4 more ladies in the event here after Betsy. You got some really big names, some big skiers coming up.
Oh yeah. There's a story behind pretty much most of the women left here. It's a pretty notable cast of characters here following Betsy, and we'll talk about each one of them. Betsy here, so she's she's waked 8 a number of times. Pretty accomplished skier. The thing about Betsy is she really, when I think of anybody, I mean, not just putting effort into the sports, but bringing females into the sport. She is such a huge fan of the young female skiers, rallies behind all of them, just so much encouragement. Betsy was kind of her and Terry Jones and a few others were a force behind what they did back in the States for a number of years is they started a tournament, girls exclusive only,
That's
because
right.
they kind of the thought was, some of these young girls are intimidated. They come, they don't really, know how to ski that well. They get intimidated by having people who are really intense, and you know what? We're just going to make it a chicks weekend where
That's
just
right.
girls are showing up to ski, and they came up with this tournament called Chick Fest. So it was a girls only thing. They'd show up and ski a clinic on Friday, and then they'd ski a tournament on Saturday, and the girls had such a blast. The participation level on the girls just went right up, shot up. It was such a cool thing that, but Betsy definitely deserves a lot of credit for being the brainstorm behind that.
And she's skiing it all the way home here backwards as well. Come on, USA. Let us hear it for your girl, Betsy Gilman.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? She use up the clock on that one?
I think she gave everything she had.
She's smiling.
There.
She's waving. Of course, I don't know that I've ever seen Betsy really upset. She's just happy to be out on the water and be part of this.
She'll always be smiling. Yeah, maybe we need to bring back Chick Fest, Rod. Get it going again. See if we can find a region that wants to host the tournament, and I think Betsy would be a good advocate for that.
Yeah.
7.2 there for Betsy Gilman, provisional score coming out of the boat. So I think we're pretty confident to say that's the top score so far.
Yeah, that is. That's we saw Katina Davis with 2 stand-up passes. I didn't hear the score on that one, did you?
No, I missed the score out of the boat there.
So we've got 7 women in this division. The rule book states 8 make it to the final. So I assume all 7 are going to be in the finals on Friday, but we're not just skiing for practice today, we're skiing for team points. And there's 6 out of 7 skiers here who are representing their countries in this event right now.
Yeah.
So there is a lot at stake here. We're not just watching practice runs for Friday. We're watching team points being accumulated.
No, these ladies are skiing. They're skiing for themselves. They're skiing for their country. And the highest score they can put up in this first round, the higher they're going to get seeded going into the finals. Yeah, it looks pretty good, though, eh? I think it's pretty much...
So what's interesting here, so we've got, our medalists from the last Worlds, the gold medalist Svenja Hempelmann coming up. She's the 2nd seed right now in this division. And I mentioned earlier, at last Worlds, I was super impressed with the German women. We had Steffi Kirsch, who's actually the 3rd seed, was a silver medalist. Terry Jones winning the bronze. They're all on deck here. So here we go. This is Terry Jones right now on the water for USA. And I mentioned at the last World Championships, Terry was our senior women's overall champion, took the bronze medal in this event, so I expect to see some good skiing out of Terry. It was really, Terry's a pretty there's another story. I mentioned I met Betsy way back in the day. The first time I met Terry was about another 20 years ago. I skied a little pond called Neosho Pond down in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was Danny Baumgartner, Terry Jones. I hadn't known him that long, and Keith St. Ange. Keith St. Ange, the kid, was down there teaching clinics, and it was a pretty cool thing. We were chuckling about how all that went down, but everybody here kind of has that story about, if you look around, and Ben, everybody here, but you can probably look around and every skier will remember the day they first met you and first where they were, what they were working on, what boat they were in, and I can say that about pretty much all the elite skiers when I think about past interactions and how they've touched lives and helped skiers progress. So, thank you for all you do. And, you see a lot of skiers and have helped a lot of skiers, and I'm sure, the numbers come in and out of the boat, but I assure you that everybody that comes through your clinic and deals with you remembers specifically everything that they experienced with the time they had with you.
Yeah, not always good as well.
Oh, yeah, I just, it's so fun to go ski with somebody at the level you guys are at. And, you know, if there's anybody watching online or anybody here, you know, talk to somebody from the World Barefoot Center. They have the special sauce when it comes to figuring out how to get people to the next level and the elite level. And, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the skiers here that are participating in the World Championships and what they're accomplishing, where they're positioned in the world, and where they're getting their training from. I mean, it's just amazing how many records and titles and things that the World Barefoot Center has been able to pull out. The crew that you guys have down there, you and Ashley and Keith and David and Swampy, it's mind-blowing. All right, here we go. Terry Jones, back 1 foot wake slalom. There you go, stand-up pass. They were going to fix it.
So we're still waiting on the that ship to shore stream for you folks. So it's kind of hard for us to narrate or kind of give feedback as the skiers come down the pass without that video out of the boat. So bear with us a little bit longer. We'll be having it up and running soon, I'm sure. And we're just standing by while we wait to see what Terry's got for a score as the judges give out their provisional here.
Next skier in the water is going to be Steffi Kirsch from Germany, and again, silver medalist in the last World. The German females are just strong skiers. Last World Championships, I remember we run through the slalom event, boom, looking at the podium, oh, there's 2 Germans. Get through the jump event, boom, looking at the podium, there's the German ladies.
Yeah,
you know, they're
Svenja
solid
and Steffi, they're a bit of a power couple.
Yeah, they are, and even, you know, it's so unfortunate. Jackie Kirsch, Stephanie's daughter. What a beautiful young lady. Great skier. Also made it to the podium at the last Worlds. Was unable to make it because of, you know, she had an ear infection, couldn't fly. But, you know, sorry that it played out that way.
Yeah,
Jackie's young.
Something you want to see right before championships like that.
Yeah, hopefully. So Australia, next Worlds. That's a done deal in 2020.
Sydney.
Wow, what a trip!
Right, and I think they've had at least one Worlds there before. It's a world-class site, great site. They've done a lot of national championships there. We've done a couple of the AO regional tournaments there. Skied a couple of them myself, and it's a really nice site.
Okay, here we go. Germany's Steffi Kirsch on the water.
So Steffi's a really rock-solid skier. You know she's probably going to be putting up a score right around 10, I'm going to guess, in that 10 to 12 range there. Going to make it very competitive with Svenja and put some pressure on Rachel as well.
Yeah, that's 11.4 is what Steffi had put up at the last Worlds to get the silver medal. I'm guessing pretty consistent scores this Worlds. I don't know, maybe not. I'll pull up some numbers here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna fix the video after this event, so Steffi and 2 more skiers, then we're gonna fix the video for you.
Beautiful, thank you. All right, guys, so we just got a quick update there. We've got our technicians working hard on fixing this ship-to-shore feed here for us. So once we're through these last couple ladies, they're going to have the feed back up and running. So if you're sitting close to one of the TVs, there will be some skiing coming through on that. There's one down by the jump area. There's one down at the start dock. So get onto the TV, and pretty shortly we'll be able to see the skiing straight out of the boat again.
Yeah, I'm looking at Steffi's scores here, the kind of the track record. Very consistent skier. Wakes over 10 pretty regularly, 11.4 as I mentioned in the last World Championships. Not her top score. Had a 11.8 back in 2014 a couple times. Skied one tournament in 2018, the Patrick Warner Open. Waked a 7.3, so yeah, pretty solid. I mean, good. I mean, definitely a contender for a medal here.
Without a doubt. And so we've got 7 ladies in the event. The way it's working for the senior women's and the junior girls jump, I believe, is that they'll be taking 4 skiers through to the final round. So there will be a little bit of a cutoff.
Right.
And there will be a little contention there in the second round, their final round, about who does get a medal, and then, of course, who's going to take the gold, silver, or bronze. So I think all things said, Steffi put up a real nice run there. Like you said, she's consistent through the years, always putting up a nice solid score. I'm sure that's what she's looking to do here today. Guarantee her that spot in the finals, and she can really go out there and blow it out, put a big score up, and walk away with the medal.
Okay, we got the boat skier on the water, Steffi Kirsch. Pass number 2 coming in backwards.
I mean, clean, solid 1-foots there, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, no bobbling at all.
Yeah, looked like she had it locked down.
She's going to get that boat to tow her all the way back into the dock if she can.
Get the Uber boat ride in there.
So we're going to score there from the judges, 11.2 for Steffi Kirsch. So I'm sure she's going to be wrapped with that.
Yeah, that's right up there. Like I said, a couple 11.8s back in 2014, but 11.2 is actually the best score that Steffi's put up since the 2016 World Championships.
Man, and what a time to do it. Look at her. She's kissing the air. She's waving to the judges. Thank you. I love you. She's putting up a bit of contention there for the squaring with Betsy as well. Those could be 2 dangerous ladies to put together in a finals. That's a lot of noise.
Yeah, geez. Get them surrounded, get them next to each other in the beer tent, too. It could get pretty lively in there, I bet. Did you hear a score for Terry Larson-Jones?
I missed the score for Terry there.
I did not hear that either. Again, stand-up passes for Terry, so it's going to get competitive here down the wire. Friday's finals are going to be pretty exciting with this group. There's a lot of parity in this group. Anything can happen out here, right? So stick around, and it's going to get exciting. Next skier on the water is Germany's Svenja Hempelmann, our last World's gold medalist in this event.
Yeah, so Svenja's definitely going to want to try and put some pressure on that 11.2 there. And that is a German okay if I've ever heard one. She bouts it out. She comes in for her first run now.
Yeah, it was a 12.9 score at the Worlds that got Svenja the gold medal here. So she's seated where she is for a reason at the top here. Definitely going to see, over the course of 2 rounds, we're going to see some good scores, I think, coming out of Svenja.
Yeah, sounds like she's more than capable of pushing into that 11-12 score range there. 12.9 was the gold medal score at the last Worlds. So, I mean, anytime you can put up a solid score, right, even close to your PB, at a tournament like this, the biggest event on the calendar is just a huge accomplishment. And then after Svenja, we're going to have one more left. We're going to have Rachel Normand is next in the water there. She's sitting on the dock. So we got a 7.1 provisional score for Svenja on her first pass there. So that's a pretty tidy pace. I'm guessing a 7.6 with 1 cut.
7.6?
I'm going to hazard a guess. She's moving. I'm glad she's not in my division.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, 7.6. So again, we were talking about a 12 and some change that took the gold for her at the last World. So she's well on her way here.
Yeah, she's probably looking to put up a score. She probably wants to break that 13 barrier, Rod. When was the last time, or has she ever jumped into the 13s yet?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ben. Not all that long ago, in 2016 at the Orange Open, 13.0. And if you look at the tournaments surrounding, they're packing in a 12.8, 12.9. So very consistent scoring.
Yeah.
Svenja is no stranger to the 1 foot cross in both directions.
And here she comes now, folks. Skier on the water, Svenja Hempelmann, all the way from Germany. Come on, Europe. Let me hear it for her. She's coming in backwards, and she's rocking these 1 foots. Nice and strong, nice and clean. That foot super high, all the way down to the end. Look at that. These Germans want to get as much out of that lake as they can. There's no letting go here.
Yeah, another stand-up pass there for the Germans.
A little quieter than Steffi at the end there.
And the next skier on the water, I don't know if they come any quieter than Rachel Norman. There's another skier I've known for years, former world overall champion, won numerous U.S. National Women's Elite Championship.
Wow.
New personal best score for Svenja Hempelmann, 14.1. Was it 14?
That 13 or 14.1?
Oh, sorry about that. Miscommunication. 13.1.
Still in UPB.
Guess what? New PB, baby. Yeah, right there. 13.1.
So Rachel here is getting ready, like you said, on the quieter end of the spectrum. Very calm, cool, collected skier here. And Rachel's capable of contending for the world record as long with the world title here in the slalom event.
Yeah, we saw a 14.0 out of Rachel at the Midwest or at the Southern Regionals, a 13.1 at the Barefoot Nationals. And here's your top seed, Rachel Norman, USA.
So yeah, Rachel's coming in here with a PB or a seed score there of 14.0 from the Southern Regionals. 14.0 is the current senior women's world record, held by the ladies rock star herself, Gizzy Halaz, who's on site for the Worlds, not skiing. So pretty interesting little bit of contention there for Rachel. She's capable of doing it, but once it gets to that review stage, it's a tough record to break.
Yeah, we had Rachel with back. So here's another skier, along the lines of a Brett Sands, Jim Nyberg, skied numerous tournaments. I grew up when Rachel was a teenager skiing with her and her brother. But in 2007, skied her last tournament. That's a 7.2 for Rachel Norman on the first pass. But, Rachel in 2007 basically walked away from the sport, got married, started a family. Here she is 11 years later, back at it. Had put up scores of 15 plus back, towards the end of when she walked away. Jumped right back in, putting up 13-1 this year. So she's right there, kind of where she's always been.
Yeah.
After a big hiatus, she's dialing it right back in.
Oh yeah, hats off to Rachel. She came back swinging. She's really tidy on the jump. She's looking strong there. She's still doing surface turns, front to backs, back to fronts. To take that kind of break and get back into it takes a little bit of confidence and a lot of commitment.
Yeah, the thing with kind of the whole family, and Rachel grew up, she was actually a dancer, a very accomplished, and her brother Toby, who was an open skier, younger brother Toby, he would do flips when they were kind of new and turns, and boy, but it was a different kind of skiing, Ben. It was like you were in a dance studio. Everything was just so delicate and precise and just light on the. It was like watching ballet. That's kind of how Rachel has skied. And here we go, pass number 2. Wow, picking that foot up nice and high.
Oh, little bubble on that one there.
Yep.
But she's
pumping the fist.
Pumping
she's good with it.
So she's happy with that.
But just super nice person, one of the most pleasant people you'll ever meet.
Wow. So we've got a score out of the boat there, folks. You just witnessed Rachel George putting up a pending world record of 14.2. Woo! In the prelim round here for ladies slalom.
Yeah,
what a
wow.
performance.
So that kind of tells you about the conditions here in this lake. And I mean, wow, this when you start putting up world records, you kind of know you've got a great facility. And you know, thanks again to Dwight and Michelle for offering this up and letting the world come here and experience what this site has to offer, which is, as we just saw, a world record capable environment.
Yeah, and this is only day one, Rod. How many more of these are we going to see throughout the week?
Well, if it's anything like I've been seeing here out of the last year or couple weeks even, I mean, when I saw the scores coming out of the U.S. National Championships 2 weeks ago, it just boggles my mind what we're going to see. I mean, we may see multiple records set this week across the board, elites, men's, women's. I mean, it's just going to be it's going to be nuts out here.
So as we take a quick break here, folks, we're switching over to, I believe, the junior boys slalom is up next. We do have a couple of social media bites for everyone who's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Is Twitter still a thing? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not on there.
I can't keep up with that one. I'm more about pictures. That's a little easier for me.
There you go.
But we got two hashtags here for you guys. Hashtag 2018 Barefoot Worlds. That's 2018 Barefoot Worlds. And hashtag IWWF. So if you guys are posting pictures, things on your story, on your feed, please chuck those hashtags in there. It's going to make everything a lot easier for all of us to follow in the social media world. I don't really know exactly how that works. Maybe you could talk to Keenan Derry. I know he's got a little bit of idea of it. He's running the IWWF social media channel here for the event.
And yeah, as far as the live link online, go to barefootworlds.ca and hit the live link. If you do get prompted for a credit card or payment, you're not in the right place. It's absolutely